Yes. Yes, Mr. President, I'll grant you Barney, Baruch, and I are not exactly standing on bread lines yet. No, that... But I'm telling you, you've got to do something and do it fast. All right. I've never asked for any man's help, and I never will. All right, we'll talk about it on...
Friday.
On Friday, at the White House. Yes, goodbye, Mr. President, why don't we bury the hatchet and you come here with Mrs. Roosevelt for supper Christmas Eve on your way to Hyde Park? Oh, good. Well, yes, I'd be delighted. Thank you, Mr. President. If I thought he'd say yes, I never would have asked him. Grace, call Al Smith. Find out what Democrats eat.
Yes, sir.
The package from Tiffany's.
Yes, sir. Arrived this morning.
I'm going to give this thing to her and tell her that I want to adopt her. Where is Annie?
She's upstairs in her room, sir, writing another letter to her friends at the orphanage. I'll have Drake call her.
Fine. Blast!
You don't have to be nervous, sir. She's going to be the happiest little girl in the world.
Well, she sure is, and I'm not nervous. And get her down here!
Yes, sir. Drake, Mr. Warbucks will see Annie now.
Miss Annie, Mr. Warbucks will see you now.
Thank you, Mr. Drake. Hello.
Oh, hello, Annie. How are you today?
Fine, thank you, sir. How are you?
Fine.
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 Annie, the time has come for the two of us to have a very serious discussion.
You're sending me back to the orphanage, right?
Annie, can we have a man-to-man talk?
Sure.
Annie, I was born into a very poor family in what they call Hell's Kitchen right here in New York. Both of my parents died before I was 10. And I made a decision right then and there that one day I was going to be rich, very rich.
That was a good idea.
By the time I was 23, I'd made my first million. And then in 10 years, I'd turned that into 100 million. And boy, in those days, that was a lot of money. Anyway, making money is the only thing I've ever cared about. And I may as well tell you, Annie, I was ruthless to the people I had to climb over to get to the top, because I've always believed one thing. You don't have to be nice to the people you meet on the way up if you're not coming back down again. But I've lately realized something. No matter how many Rembrandts or Duesenbergs you've got, if you have no one to share your life with, that is, if you're alone, you may as well be broke and back at Hell's Kitchen. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Sure.
Good.
Kind of.
Blast! Annie, I was in Tiffany's yesterday, and I picked up this thing for you.
For me? Gee, thanks, Mr. Warbucks. You're so nice.
I had it engraved.
Oh, gee.
It's a silver locket, Annie. I noticed that old broken one you always wear, and I said to myself, I'm going to get that kid a nice new locket.
Gosh, thanks, Mr. Warbucks. Thank you very much.
Let's just take this old one off of you.
No! Please don't make me take my locket off. I don't want a new one.
Annie, what is it?
This locket. My mother and dad left it with me when they left me at the orphanage. And there was a note, too. They're coming back for me. And I know being here with you for Christmas, I'm real lucky, but I don't know how to say it. The one thing in the world that I want more than anything else is to find my mother and father. And to be like other kids, folks of my own.
Annie, it'll be all right. I'll find them for you. I'll find your parents for you.
Baby.
I'll get her a brandy.
It's going to be all right. But Mr. Warbucks,
I understand, but it could be our best clue. We'll have the FBI trace where it was bought, and then find out who bought it.
Oh, well then, maybe the FBI should have my note too.
You watch, Annie. You may be meeting your mother and father in the next couple of days.
Really?
Really.
Oh boy, I gotta write to the kids about this.
What a thing to occur, finding them, losing her. Oh, you won't be an orphan